Nataka nyinyi nanyi mseme na yeye. I should start. Yeah.
Let me start so that you know what I want us to discuss about, and you can ask me whatever questions you have. Are we together? Muko tayari na maswali? Let me start. Let me say the following. Today is International Youth Day. Siku ya vijana. The United Nations set aside this day so that we can celebrate the young people globally. And we use this occasion to celebrate the young people in Kenya. And let me say that, as I said in my statement, the single most important asset that we have as a nation is the young people. The single most important asset is our human capital. It is much more important than any resource that we have. It is more important than gold. It's more important than all the things we can do. That is why, intentionally, I have decided that we are going to invest sufficient resources in making sure that we develop our human capital. How so? You know, if our human capital is the most important asset that we have, we must sharpen it. We must have proper knowledge. We must empower our human capital through knowledge, through training, and through skills development. And that is the reason why the first assignment that I took into consideration when I was elected president is to make sure that I sort out education in Kenya. You remember when we were campaigning, many people were asking why we should continue with CBC. Many were saying CBC should be abolished. Many were saying our universities, in fact, they were not saying. The reality is that our universities were struggling, including Masinde Muliro, because of the funding model that we had that time. And therefore, it was necessary for us to organize education. Why did I take up that responsibility? Because it's a very difficult responsibility. Because dealing with children, dealing with parents is not a very easy thing. In fact, I was told by my predecessor that this one is very difficult. And that is why many people did not want to touch reform in the education sector. But I had the option of doing nothing about our education sector because it is difficult. But I also had the other option of doing something about it, maybe difficult, but getting it right. And I chose the latter. That's why I put together a task force led by Professor Munavu, put our education experts together, and they came up with a plan that we have implemented. In that plan, we have sorted out our CBC challenges. We have sorted out the transition from ECD to primary school, to junior school, to senior school, and now to university. The pathway is now clear for all parents. It was also necessary to close the gap on teacher employment. If there are representatives of NAT here, they will tell you we had a gap of 116,000 teachers that were not in class. It is the reason why by January this year, by January next year, we will have hired 100,000 teachers. We will be remaining only with 16,000 because I made a commitment to Kenya that I will close the gap on teacher enrollment. And number three, we changed, on recommendation of the task force, the funding model. Today I've had an engagement with Vice Chancellor here. And Vice Chancellor confirms to me that the new student-centered model is working for him. He can pay his staff, he can pay his bills or his suppliers, and he can run courses in the university, unlike the difficulties we had under the old under the old model. So I wanted to sort out education. Why? Because unless we sort out education, we will not be able to sufficiently empower young people and our human capital to be able to deliver for Kenya. So that's number one. Number two, it was necessary as we spend money in primary school, secondary school, TVETs, and universities. And by the way, just to give you numbers, we are spending 650 billion Kenya shillings every year in educating our population, from primary school to university. 650, 30% of our budget goes to education. I took up the responsibility and said, it is not right for us to spend 30% of our resources, 650 billion every year, to educate our children, yet we don't have a plan on what happens when they finish school. The same way we have a plan on making sure all our children go to school, we should also have a plan on what they do when they come out of school. And for the first time, we developed a deliberate, intentional plan on how to engage the young people of our nation in deliberate government programs supported by the private sector so that we can create opportunities for young people. Because the single biggest problem with young people, if you ask them, is employment. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Tatizo ya vijana ya Kenya ni kukosekana kwa ajira. Na sababu hiyo ndio tukasema lazima tuwe na mpango makususi ama mahasusi ama mpango makusudi. You know? Deliberate. Kwa Kiswahili nasema makusudi. You know? Intentional. Mpango makusudi. Intentional plan ya kuhakikisha kwamba vijana wanapata ajira. And I want to give you, young people, and I want you to listen to me carefully so that you can ask me questions. We have seven deliberate programs for young people to be engaged. Number one, the reason why we rolled out our housing program was yes, we needed houses. Yes, we needed markets. Yes, we needed hostels. And we are building 160 housing units with a pipeline of 700,000. We are building 400 markets across Kenya, and we are building hostels for 170,000 students, including hostels in this Masinde Muliro, which we will start next month. I have discussed with the Vice Chancellor here. We will be doing the first 1,200 a hostel block here in Kakamega beginning next month. We have agreed with the Vice Chancellor. And we are doing it in many TVET institutions across Kenya. But the most important part of that program is the jobs that program creates. So the program of housing is more about creating jobs than doing the rest of the things that it is going to do. And let me give you the numbers. Today, as I talk to you, you heard in my statement, we have 320,000 young people working in the housing program. We're going to scale it up to 640,000 in another 2 months. And our target is to have 1 million jobs, 1 million young people every year working in our housing program. We have already advertised for 4,000 skilled professionals from universities and from TVETs who will supervise that program. We will scale it up to 10,000 by January, so that they can supervise the work that we are doing in that space. So it is about jobs. It is about charging our economy. The whole construction industry will create additional jobs. The whole supply chain of cement, steel, Juakali sector, producing doors, hinges, windows, and everything else they are producing. So it's about jobs. We have never had a deliberate plan to create jobs in Kenya because we didn't gather the courage to implement housing. Now we have. It's going on. Number two, we have deliberately realigned and reorganized what we call labor mobility. That space had many crooked people. So many people were being exploited. So many people ended up in foreign countries and they were abused. Many of them sexually abused, many of them done things. We have organized that space under the National Employment Authority. I gave deliberate instructions. I sat on it for at least 2 months to straighten it up. Mama Edith is here. She's now the CEO of that organization. And through that organization, we have also signed under our Kazi Maju program, when I appointed deliberately a principal secretary to take charge of our diaspora issues and to manage relations between Kenya and other countries. We are signing bilateral labor agreements with them. And today, I can tell you, as I have said here, in the last 2.5 years, 430,000 Kenyans have gone abroad to work. Some of them have come back. Some of them are on the way. 816, I will be giving them a check of 163 million today so that they can finance their way to jobs abroad. And I want to say this with clarity. The statistics we have, and I have told you, we have the best human capital anywhere in the world. If there is a job opportunity in any company in the world, and the contest is between a Kenyan and another person from another country, the Kenyan has the first opportunity. Because we speak very good English, and our education is the best. So we have the best human capital, and we must take advantage of it. We must use it to grow our country. And because of the labor mobility program, our diaspora remittance in the last 2.5 years has increased from $4 billion to $4.95 billion. Our diaspora remittance is the single largest foreign exchange earner for our country because of the young people, because of the people of Kenya who work outside our country. And that is why I took it as one of the places where it needs government to organize. I have now sufficiently organized that sector, and I can confirm to you that any Kenyan who is now going to work abroad, we know where they are going to work, what job they are going to do, how much they are going to earn, and how we are going to support them when they run into trouble in those countries. The days when Kenyans suffered outside Kenya without any government support are behind us because we now have an organized system. That is project number 2. Project number 3 is our program that I told you about on matters to do with digital jobs. We have already 330 ICT hubs ready. We have another 400 under construction. We have signed on with many BPO countries, including Teleperformer, which is the largest BPO organization in the world. They have now set up in Kenya. And we now have 180,000 young people working on the digital job ecosystem, either in our TVETs or in our ICT hubs, or in our Jitume labs, because we want to create opportunities for Kenyans to work in foreign companies, but working from home. Number 4 is what I want to tell you now here. We have the program of Nyota. Na nataka munisikize sasa kwa makini. And kama uko na simu, uanze kujipanga hapo kwa simu. The Nyota program is supposed to do another 4 of our programs. Number 1, there are many young people who are Form 4 graduates. They do not have any skill. They have not had an opportunity to go to any TVET or to go to any polytechnic. They don't have any skill. We are looking for 90,000 young people as phase 1 to train them. And as we train them, we are also going to pay them a small stipend. We are going to train them for 1 year. Vijana nataka mnisikize vizuri. Enda hapo kwa *254 hash. Enda kwa Nyota. I repeat. *254 hash. Network hakuna hapa leo. Nafikiri wale watu, kuna watu wangu hapa wanazoea kuzima network. Wapi wale watu? Wewe. Iko imekuja. Haya. Tunaelewana? Imekuja bado? Imekuja? Very good. So they will just organize it just now. So tufanye hivi. So pale already, nataka munisikize, already 160,000 young people have applied. Yeah? But there is still an opportunity for you to apply. These 90,000 young people who have no skills, and these are young people between the ages of 18 and 29. Yeah? And if you are disabled or you are in the marginalized, up to 35. We want to equip you with skills. You're going to work under a mastercraft. We are going to equip you with skills. If you have no skills, we're going to make sure that you can go home and come back every day. We will pay for your going home and coming back for 6 months. We will bring NITA to come and assess you. Then we will give you a certificate that you have been certified on this or that or the other skill. And then we are also going to give you another 6 months of apprenticeship. We're going to assign you to a job where you can learn on the job, where you can be working and improving your skills for another 6 months. And in those 6 months, we will also be paying you stipend to go home, come back, and make sure that you learn that skill. That is component number 1. Mnanisikia nyinyi vijana? Component number 2 kwa hiyo program. Kuna vijana wengi ambao tayari wamelearn skills, lakini hawana certificate yeyote. You know how to you know, for example, you are a mechanic, you are trained, or you are a plumber, you have done it, or you are an electrician, you've done it, or you are a carpenter, you have done it, but you don't have any paper to show that you have a skill. We are looking for 20,000 of such people, again, on that platform, *254 hash. We are going to assess you. We're going to take you through a short course of 1 month. We're going to assess you, and we are going to give you a certificate, and that certificate will be paid for by the government of Kenya, and then we can now point you to opportunities that are there for you to work now that you have a paper and now that you have certification. And that certificate will also allow you to now move to the next training level. So you have an opportunity to train at the next level, but you also have an opportunity now to be hired because you have a document to show that you have a certain skill. So 20,000 young people from Kenya apply. We are ready for you, and that program is on the roll. Number 3, we have young entrepreneurs, wafanyabiashara vijana. Tunatafuta wafanyabiashara vijana 100,000. 100,000. Tayari nyinyi mnajua kwa hiyo mtandao ya *254# mumejiandikisha. Tayari vijana 1,000,000 wamejiandikisha kwa hiyo platform. We are looking for 100,000. Lakini tayari 1,000,000 wamejiandikisha. Kumaanisha we have a big pool of young people, young entrepreneurs that need support. So the first phase, as I told you, those 100,000, they are now going through the selection. Next month, with Waziri Oparanya here and Waziri Mvurya, we are going to start phase 1, the first cohort of 54,000 young people. Each of them, we are going to give them 50,000 shillings, not loan, but grant ya kuendesha biashara yao. And then we will do the next cohort and the next cohort. Tukimaliza 100,000, tutaketi chini tuone what is the future of this program. Ninyi mnanielewa? So vijana, there is business support where we are going to assist you with business literacy. We are going to give you capital of 50,000. We are going to link you to financial institutions, and we are going to provide mentorship for you so that we can have youth-led businesses, youth-led enterprises, and we want to make it deliberate as government of Kenya. I told you that for us to move forward, it must be deliberate, it must be intentional. Hatuwezi kusema tu vijana watapata kazi. Lazima tujiulize watapata kazi wapi, na ni kazi gani, na watasaidika vipi. Those are the questions we are answering as government. Number 4 on that program is assisting you with digital knowledge, financial literacy, so that you can apply for government procurement opportunities. You know that 30% of all government procurement in the national government and in the counties are supposed to be reserved for young people, women, and people with disability. But unfortunately, those opportunities young people don't get. And that is the reason why we are providing now money to train young people on how to get those opportunities, number 1. Number 2, to provide a marketplace for you to identify where is the opportunity. And number 3, we are going to provide 1 billion shillings as a catalytic fund so that young people can access government procurement opportunities. Again, we are looking for 600,000 young people so that we can mentor them, we can train them, and we can give them catalytic financing for them to access government procurement opportunities at the national and at the county level. Bado tuko pamoja ama? Bado tuko pamoja? Let me tell you number 8. What we are doing in that space is the famous, mulikuwa mnajua zamani kulikuwa na kazi ilikuwa inaitwa kazi mtaani. Si ndio? Sasa tumebadilisha jina tunaita climate works. Sasa hiyo mpango itakuja tayari pale Nairobi, tuko na vijana 45,000 wanafanya kazi. Sasa tunataka kuleta hiyo program ije mashinani. Kila county, mmesikia hapa Kakamega tutakuwa na vijana 4,000 watakaofanya kazi katika hiyo mpango ambayo ilikuwa inaitwa kazi mtaani, lakini sasa tumeipangia vizuri. Watakuwa wanatusaidia kwa mambo ya barabara, watatusaidia kwa mambo ya greening public spaces na mambo mengine, and that program is beginning again next month because there were a bit of reorganization that was necessary. Tunaelewana vijana wa Kenya? So mimi nataka niwaeleze vijana ya kwamba nafasi haiwezi kuja kukutafuta nyumbani. Lazima wewe ujitume. Bwana. Lazima ujitume. Si ndio? Nyinyi mmesikia mimi nikisema hapa Kakamega tuko na mpango ya affordable housing. Pale kuna nafasi ya ajira. Hapa tutaanza kujenga hostel, kutakuwa na nafasi ya ajira. Kakamega hii tunajenga soko 27, pale kuna ajira. Kakamega hii na Kenya mzima tuko na ICT hub, tuko na Jitume labs, tuko na PPO sectors, pale kuna ajira. Tumewaeleza kama wewe ni kijana hauna skills yoyote, tuko tayari kukusaidia kupatia wewe skills at our cost, so that, and we can also give you certification so that you can become more employable. All these programs are for the young people of our country, and we want every young people to have the correct, every young person to have the correct information, so that you can engage with the opportunities that are there for you. Na vile nimesema, lazima pia ujitume. Look for those opportunities. Hustle these members of parliament. Hustle your MCAs. Hustle everybody looking for those opportunities, because that is how we are going to get young people contributing meaningfully to the development and the progress of our nation. I wanted to say this as an outline of the programs we have, and as a deliberate program that has never been done by any administration, because we must be deliberate about creating opportunities and creating pathways for young people to access opportunities to train, opportunities to work, opportunities to be employed, opportunities to do enterprise. Asante sana. I'm ready for your questions.
Tumpigie makofi Mheshimiwa Rais. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for that candid, succinct, elaborate presentation. A very deliberate presentation to the young people of Kenya. Sasa, kabla nichukue